Unheard of.
What is up, everybody? We are back as promised, another week, and here we got your two favorite boys, ABG and myself, along with one of your favorite guest stars and listeners, Drewby. And as you'll notice, you might have watched the video last week. If you didn't, that's okay. We didn't really promo it, so no big deal. But now we're using different backgrounds, and we're officially like in the unheard of studio. All of us in a room together. I know it was hard during these times, boys, to get each other in a single room, but here we are officially in the unheard of studio. And I'll start us off with ABG, who has just started. Well, it's a new job, but it's also a job he's familiar with, and he just went back, started this week. And how's that been going, man?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just going off with training and trying to figure out, getting myself back acclimated to it.
Yeah.
So then I'm gonna be traveling soon, going to Maine. So it's gonna be fun. I'm only gonna be there for a week, so it should be all hunky dory. You know what I'm saying? Just yeah, having fun, man. Enjoying life. What's going on with you?
Uh, so I had my first real week with my new position at Microsoft, where I kind of finally took full ownership of a bunch of stuff. So been a real hectic week.
Hey, y'all heard it here first. Jerod is now taking full ownership of Microsoft. So
Yeah, of my little job within the big corporation. I was taking that program, and so it was kind of a busy week. So everybody can see, I'm growing my mountain beard back. It's kind of coming back into full effect.
yeah,
Starting to get cold out here in Colorado, and Maine would probably be pretty cool, man. Like if you get like a chance, depending on where you are. I know they have a bunch of lighthouses, and the coastline looks really cool out there. So I'd get a chance to check that out.
I'm just trying to have a nice, authentic lobster roll.
Yeah.
Authentic Maine lobster roll. That's what I want to try. And I mean, I'm yeah, growing the beard too. It's more or less growing just on my chin,
Yeah.
and it's more trimmed on the sides. But yeah, yours is sticking out everywhere. Mine is just long on the chin.
Yeah, this is it looks kind of mangy when you wear a mask all day long with it. But
Yes,
so
I've been combing my beard like a freak. Like I keep my comb and stuff like that in my car. So whenever I'm in the car, I'm just like people pass
so
by, I'm just combing my beard out the whole time.
so I'll say this and then we'll get to Drew. But literally, the only reason I trim my beard every month or so now is because I would like to comb it and use beard oil to make it look really nice every day. But when you wear a mask, that freaking oil just like gets
Yeah,
in your mouth
just
all day long, and it's unbearable. So beard maintenance is kind of crappy right now until I can stop wearing a mask at work and everything. Which, so
is
sorry
that
for the
is that looking like anytime soon?
hopefully. I don't know. Microsoft has a vaccination goal, right? That they're supposed to reach, but yeah, I don't know if it'll ever be reached. So but all that being said, let's get to our great guest star with us this week. Drew, how's your week been, man?
It's been going really good. Just trying to get ready for the festivities of this upcoming week with Thanksgiving, and me and Arthur enjoyed ourselves this past Monday. We went to the Hawks game, and although Arthur didn't necessarily have a good afternoon, it turned out to be a good evening. Um,
Whoa.
Well, I just I don't know if you guys know me. I feel like this is well documented. I have the worst luck in the world, and just like I feel like I've talked about this on the show. I was supposed to be going to a James Blake concert, and I wasn't able to go to that because my car broke down. I've been driving my mom's car around,
Yep.
And I was gonna be going to Drew's house on Monday after work. My previous job. After work, got off. Gonna be going to his house to meet up with him so we could ride together to the Hawks game. And I was probably maybe 20, 30 minutes away from Drew's house. And my tire blew. So I had to stop. Tire blew out. I didn't have a spare. My mom and her husband had to come and, get everything sorted out, put a spare on there and everything. They had to take the car back. So, I mean, we missed tip off. We were a little late. We were like maybe 6 minutes late to the game.
Yeah, I
Like,
think when we showed up, there was about 7 minutes in the first quarter left.
yeah.
Wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, we had a great night. I don't know why, but it was just the section that we were in at that game, bro. They were just not
Yeah, they were
live
dead.
at all. And I was trying to get involved every time they were on defense. I was chanting defense, all this stuff.
Well,
People were looking at me like I was crazy. People were looking at me like I should not have been live at a live basketball game.
Well, they're probably looking at him crazy because every time Gallinari hit a shot, he was going, "Bogey, way to go! Let's go, Bogey!"
I did that maybe twice.
Come on now. And then he looked at me. He said, "Wait."
And I was like,
he said, "Wait." He looked at me. He said, "Wait, that's not Bogey. That's Gallinari." And I said, "You wouldn't wonder why these people have been looking at you sideways all freaking."
No, it wasn't even that, bro. Like it was like as soon as like they were on defense, I was like, because they have the organ player going and everything. Everybody's chanting defense. The section we were in, bro, it was like nobody had ever been to a professional sports game before, and they were looking at me crazy. I was chanting defense when they were on defense. Like,
well, they did get a little loud and a little rowdy.
Yeah, after halftime, near the end of the game, it got more live, but it was just like that first quarter, the second quarter, it was just like, yeah, like I said, they were just looking at me crazy, like I was talking out of turn,
like you were a nuisance.
Yeah, like I was being a nuisance at a basketball game. I wasn't even being that loud, like, because like I would be chanting defense, I'll be the only one. I'm like, defense. Like after a while, I'm like, yeah, defense. Like, because like nobody else is doing it. Drew didn't even join in. Drew was like, "Oh my god!"
Because you were getting getting looks, man. I mean, be getting looks like that.
The truth, I didn't care. Like I was like, I mean, if you got something to say it. But if not, you keep side out of me all you want to. You know what I'm saying? Like
that lady in front of us, I thought she was going to turn around and be like, "Do you mind?"
Yeah, like do I mind like talking at a damn professional sports event? Like, come on, man. How many of these have you been to? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you not know what happens at a professional sports game? But I also feel like that's Atlanta sports as a whole. Like we're more of a conservative type of crowd to where people aren't not that people aren't involved, but like people aren't as vocal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's just because when we get vocal, we get disappointed, and then we look like fools.
I mean, yeah. I mean, history has provided that. If you're an Atlanta sports fan, then you should be waiting with bated breath instead of excited about the whole thing. But no, I was excited to be at that game. I mean, we won. It was a great win, a great team win.
Yep. I think just about everybody in the starting lineup had 20 points. I know Bogey did, Trey did, Clint did.
Did Clint have more than 20? I thought he only had like 16. I want to say.
Did he? I know.
I
know he had at least 20 rebounds.
I know he had a double. Now, yeah. I don't know if I can actually speak on how many points and rebounds he had, but I know he had a double.
So, guys,
but also,
speaking of staying on topics, we knew we were going to discuss Atlanta sports.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's just go ahead for all you folks out there, since we've already spent about the first 10 minutes talking about it. let's go ahead and just dive right on in. You guys went to the Hawks game. How do we all think the Hawks have been doing so far?
Decent, but they're not playing. They're not to me. They're not playing at the potential as they were to reach the Eastern Conference finals. You know, to reach the heights that they did last season, I feel like they're playing more conservative and not to that level. You know.
Yeah.
Is it me? Or did Trae Young's comments about the regular season that rubbed me the wrong way? Like I don't
know. It's to me, it's not that it rubbed me the wrong way. It's just that if I were him, I would not have been that vocal about how regular season's games made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as he was, you know, how he said, you know, it's hard to get motivated for a regular season game and all that stuff. But like, because
he hasn't even won nothing.
Yeah, like to me, it's like
that's what I'm saying.
On,
like
bro,
you have
like,
one good playoff run, and then all of a sudden you can't get hyped for
like
a regular season game.
You need these regular season wins, like,
mm-hmm.
and if anything, I mean, for the past few seasons, I mean, I feel like the Hawks have been that like after the All-Star break, you know, that team that they're gonna catch a little bit of fire after the All-Star break, but for us as fans, I want to see that fire before the break. I want to see that fire, you know, in the beginning of the season. I want y'all to come out hot, and they just haven't done that as of late. I mean, well, as of the past like 4 games they've won, but yeah, in the beginning of the season they just didn't have that. They didn't have that spark. They didn't have that fire. They didn't have that, you know, that secret sauce that made them such a contender in the Eastern Conference last season.
Yeah. I mean, at least we're like above 500 right now because, I think they do get more of the motivation after All-Star break. The good thing is the East is usually always up for grabs. So, especially since LeBron James left, it's typically up for grabs. So, I mean, his comments really kind of sucked, but I think these stars, man, and we just extended him, right? Like Trae just got that max extension this offseason. So, I mean, he's got his money now, and he's like, God, the regular season sucks. I just need to get to the playoffs and win. But I mean, it definitely could have came off better. Shoot.
Yeah, it's just that it just to me it comes off as there is a lack of motivation right now going on in the team. And I mean, I don't know if that falls on Nate. I mean, I guess that falls on Nate. I mean, he's their head coach. On Nate, or just within the locker room with the guys, you know, just they gotta find it somewhere. They gotta find that motivation somewhere.
Well, you know, they're 7-1 at home, so they're doing exactly what Nate said he wanted them to do, which is, you know, make State Farm pretty much unbeatable. They go out on the West Coast and they lose 6 games, but my God, the 6 games that they lost to are teams that could literally be in the NBA Finals next season. I mean, it ain't like they went out there and they lost to Minnesota and to Memphis. I mean, they dropped to like Phoenix, Denver. Did they play the Lakers? They didn't play the Lakers.
They played Golden State, I'm pretty sure.
Golden State, yeah. Oh, that Steph dropped 50 on them.
Yes.
So I mean, but like I said, you're not
Steph
going out there
back
losing.
To his old MVP ways right now.
And I know we're gonna stay on the topic of Atlanta, so I'm trying not to like help us go off, but I really thought that Golden State was not gonna come back, you know, to that dynasty state. I thought they were basically done, right? But my God, they've got a team again, and Klay Thompson isn't even back yet.
Yeah, I mean they are. It's scary hours right now again, bro. Like they've been going hammy. They've been going crazy out there. I mean, Steph himself has been going crazy. Like
He's probably got another MVP this year if he keeps
Yeah.
it up.
I mean, he's
That's what I was
back to his old
thinking,
MVP ways, bro. Like it's insane. And I mean, I it's it's hard to. I mean, I don't know. For me, it's hard, kind of hard to just describe just how that makes me feel about just like damn, like they really are just gonna be that team again this year.
I
And
mean,
I felt like it was gonna be a couple more seasons out before maybe they were that team again. But yeah, it's looking like it. Like I thought the Hawk. I mean, not the Hawks. Oh my god, I thought the Lakers were gonna be that team this year, and it's looking like.
come on,
Nah,
bro.
Yeah, are they?
Come
Look,
on, man.
Are they?
Has-
Come on, bro. They got a eight, six. They got some great vets on their team, bro. That I
They-
thought would gel and mesh great together.
They've got one vet who averages the most turnovers in NBA history. Like literally, if he didn't commit a single turnover the rest of this season, he would still hold the record.
Who is that?
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, Westbrook. I'm tripping, man.
Like, dude, I mean, I know he's an insane athlete. He can get you a triple-double whenever he wants to, but he's apparently terrible for teams, dude. Like, look at what he's done on his teams the past few years. Like, he cannot get anybody over the hump.
Yeah.
I don't think Russ will be a Laker by the end of the season.
Like, look at the Washington Wizards. They are much better without Russell Westbrook this
Yeah,
year.
I
got
mean,
a
yeah,
good
but then they
team.
also have a lot of talent that came from that championship Lakers team. So
They got like two
I mean, they got
pieces.
Kyle Kuzma.
they got
and
Kuzma,
Montrezl Harrell.
KC. They got KCP.
No.
Hey, but that
They do
shows
have KCP.
I'm thinking, but what I'm saying is they shouldn't have traded Westbrook for all that. They should have kept those pieces and signed Schroeder.
Yeah. Yeah. And what Schroeder? He's on the Celtics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another
he-
team that I mean,
He kind of fumbled the bag
The
because the
East-
Lakers offered him like $100 million, and he only got like $5 million this year to play for the Celtics.
Yeah, he bet on
I
himself.
mean, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of the East teams. I mean, I would kind of exclude the Hawks from this, but like a lot of the East teams that are, like you think are going to be contenders they just don't really have that identity, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And man, I hate ESPN because they're going to keep saying the Lakers are a great team, and it seems like Father Time is finally catching up with LeBron too. He's been injured
Mhm.
quite a bit
Yeah.
this season already.
A
I mean, he's
lot,
out.
yeah.
Like he's out right now. How long has he been out for?
No, he came back. He
Oh, he
played
did?
on Friday, but they lost to the Celtics by like
I'm about
20
to say they
points.
lost though.
Yeah.
They're like
And then they
nine
lost to the
or
Celtics.
10
which is insane
in the West.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I knew when they traded away all that depth for Westbrook, it wasn't going to be pretty. Like you need depth in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, you need a solid bench at least.
So
'Cause,
I
I
don't
mean,
think
you
the
can't-
Lakers going to do it.
This isn't like the 90s. You can't just keep running your starters out that much. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna need some good bench people.
Guys, I'm sorry if I like looked back all weird. If you guys saw me on the screen, I literally
I was like, I thought you was talking about how I was talking about the 90s over here.
no, something like fell down here or something was like really loud and made me jump.
Damn, Jared got ghosties, bro.
So yes, little tangent about the NBA, but we all think the Hawks will get on track.
Yeah.
Keeping it in touch with the Atlanta sports, I think the Falcons have shown us that they basically suck at this point. The past couple of years have really done it in, and it's pretty much time to go full rebuild. I mean, against Dallas and New England, we have like completely bombed the whole joint. We scored
Blow the team up, bro.
3 points in our building against the New England Patriots. So man, it's I think it's time. I think
Blow the
it's
team
time,
up,
guys.
bro. Sell the team to St. Louis or something. It's over for the Falcons. I hate to say it, bro, but like I'm a fan, of course. I mean, it's the home team, but Jesus Christ, this is just terrible. And I don't want to. I really don't want to really just like super hate because I mean, new head coach, the systems the system he's trying to put in place. I mean, you see what he's trying to do, but he just doesn't have the guys really or the personnel that I feel like he wants yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I still pretty much feel like this is the remnants of Dan Quinn's team. And this is exactly what we would be having right now if
Well,
Dan Quinn was still the head coach.
he doesn't have a Derrick Henry. Like that's all Arthur Smith's offensive system has been.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all don't believe me?
I mean,
Go
go in, King.
go
If you, yeah.
like go back and watch Tennessee's tape the past couple seasons where he was the OC.
I will admit their offense was very run heavy, but I mean, there's blocking schemes and things outside of just having Derrick Henry being your running back. There's
Yeah, I
there's
mean,
plays that you draw up for the
we
offensive
don't.
line to double team, triple team. So
We don't have that. Like we don't have. I feel like we don't have people that are capable of protecting the quarterback. I mean, what we Matt Ryan was sacked 4 times this past week.
Yeah, I mean
So
we don't have it, but we're also the same people that have put ourselves in that position. Like we have like hardly any cap space at all as a team. So to even sign anybody, there's nothing.
yeah, I was gonna say there's one person to blame for the Falcons' lack of success the last this season and the last few seasons, and it's not Arthur Smith, it's not Terry Fontenot, it's not Matt Ryan, it's Arthur Blank. It's Arthur Blank. The fact that the Falcons had the season they had in what was it, 2018 or 2019, you should have cut ties with Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff that year, but you brought them back and let them spend all of your money on these whack ass bum players, thinking that they could have one good 10-win season and possibly save their jobs. They dropped the ball last year, so you get rid of them, but it's too late. The damage has already been done. You have players that shouldn't be on the football field, and you don't have the money to get good players on the football field. So, it's like Bill Parcells used to say: "If you want me to cook the dinner, let me buy the groceries." Hell, we can't afford to go to the dollar store and buy groceries right now. At this point, I'm just trying, Um, I think Terry Fontenot is going to be a good general manager. I think Arthur Smith is going to be a good football coach. I mean, Matt Ryan is who he is at this point in his career. I think it's
yeah, I mean, okay. I feel like okay, Jerod. I mean, a lot of times when we bring up the Falcons, Jerod is like, "Why we paying Matt Ryan all this money?" But like, I don't. It's not that I want to say I don't agree with that because I mean we're offering him a lot of money, but he's shown you repeatedly that he's worth the money. I feel like it's more of just a question of talent, of who you guys are surrounding him with, and then of course you're saying we would be able to afford better talent if we weren't paying him that much money. But I mean,
Well, so
other
look,
teams that have great quarterbacks that they have the talent to protect him. We just don't have the talent.
I'm not going to get into it because I know I'll go off. But what I will say, does Jalen Hurts have a good offensive line? Does Justin
Yeah.
Fields have a good offensive line?
Well, decent.
Bro, Chicago's like got one more win than we do, partner.
Yeah. I'm saying, but Justin Fields is getting into his
No, I'm saying
rhythm.
Justin Fields though.
Yeah. But I'm basically what I'm saying is these guys are people that can actually, change the outcome of a game a little bit because they're more mobile.
Yeah, I was about to say, but
If
you're
our
talking
line
about
breaks
two different
down,
types of quarterback.
yeah, I'm saying we need a mobile guy. Like the NFL's changing. Like you can look all over the league: Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts. They're going mobile because nobody's paying offensive linemen anymore as it is.
How much
So
is Dak getting on his feet though?
I mean, they're actually paying an O line in Dallas.
I'm
So
about to say, like,
they
how much
they've
is
probably
Dak
got
really
one of the
using his
better O
feet?
lines. But even in like Kansas City, right? Like their O line kind of sucks this year.
Their whole
Pat
team
Mahomes,
sucks this year.
yeah, like Pat Mahomes, all these dudes are paid to use their feet because their O lines aren't that great. And because I feel like if you're going to be the top paid player on that field, at this point you need to be able to change the game a little bit. And Matt Ryan's not mobile, and so when that line breaks down, man, there's like nothing. There's no extension of a play anymore because and it's not just him because other quarterbacks are getting paid more than him. So I will agree on that point. It's just that we don't have anything in our arsenal anymore for him. We need to just embrace the rebuild, go get us a mobile quarterback in the draft. But next year's draft kind of sucks. I think maybe keep Matt Ryan one more year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're gonna have to give him one more year. But like I'm saying, our offensive line definitely could be better.
Yeah, but we've been saying that. Like, that's my problem with the Matt Ryan argument because we've been saying for years that the O line could be better. So if it's not going to get better, we need somebody that can move around it.
But wait a minute now, because all those quarterbacks that you just mentioned a couple of minutes ago, the Kyler Murrays, the Russell Westbrooks, the Dak Prescotts.
This man said Russell Westbrook.
Did I say Russell Westbrook? Oh no! You can.
Yeah, we'll edit it out in post. Yeah, go for it.
You can edit that out, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have you saying.
No, we'll keep it.
So you got Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson. You got Justin Fields. All those kind of quarterbacks. You know what the difference is between Matt Ryan and quarterbacks like them?
What's that?
Obviously, talent level, but Matt Ryan stays healthy. All of those guys, Kyler Murray's not playing right now. Russell Wilson just come back from the injury list.
Hey,
Dak blew the entire season for the Cowboys last year because he couldn't stay healthy and stay on the field. And he's actually hurt right now. You can say what you want about Matt Ryan, but with a shitty-ass offensive line, that 30-something-year-old quarterback is out there game in and game out. He does not stay hurt.
Your Russell Wilson take was terrible because that's the first time he's ever missed time in the NFL. So that's the first time.
I'm saying he's not out there helping his team.
Yeah, and before Dak Prescott tore his ankles up, he hadn't missed any games either until last season.
But I'm saying, when you're not on the field, you're not contributing anything to your team. All these mobile quarterbacks, their shelf span of being good, decent quarterbacks is very short. Robert Griffin III was like a flash of lightning. He was there 2 seasons, and then he was gone. Lamar's going to be the same exact way. When you're out there and you're taking those hits and you don't know how to slide, and these quarterbacks don't have the mentality of getting out of bounds.
How many good playoff years we got?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Drew did just bring up a really good point.
I mean, sure, he made up a good point about injuries, but how many good years have we actually had in the playoffs?
Well, we did go to the Super Bowl.
One.
No. We went to the NFC Championship game in 2012.
Okay.
I would say before 2012, we went to the playoffs.
Would you consider Aaron Rodgers to be mobile? Because I kind of
10 years ago, yeah.
Barely.
10 years ago, yeah. Now, no. No.
I'd say he's still more mobile than Matt Ryan at this point.
He's about as mobile as Ben Roethlisberger.
All I'm saying, man, is we need a guy with some speed.
And I will agree that we need more of today's type quarterback, but I'm saying hindsight, you need to look. Today's quarterbacks, they're by the time they're 27, 28, they're backups. Look at Cam Newton.
Hey,
Now, granted, Cam's
Cam
like
Newton is
30 or
starting
31.
this
That's
Sunday.
because Sam Darnold.
so-
That's because Sam Darnold.
So-
Sam's hurt.
no. Well, so
Besides
Sam's
what
got
they
a
did
small
on the
injury.
field today, I just want to say War Damn Eagle. It's a great
Well,
it's a great day when Cam Newton is a starting quarterback in the NFL.
they said Cam's
But
probably going to be the starter when Sam's fully healthy too, because he's pretty much sucked all year.
I mean, yeah.
Well, let's just look at it like this. I mean, the Carolina Panthers, they're going to suck regardless, but your fan base is going to be more behind you with Cam as your quarterback than they would with Sam Darnold. Like I
mean, you say
Cam could do no
they're
wrong.
gonna
in
suck,
North
but
Carolina.
like what? They're
But,
probably
like,
ahead of us in the playoff
so
picture right now.
I'll give you the
That-
points about the injuries because I'll agree that their lifespan as a quarterback is typically shorter in the league. However, that gets me to the point about salary cap, right?
sure.
Like Tom Brady, he's got a bunch of weapons down there in Tampa Bay, but he's not the highest paid quarterback in the league either. He's only getting like 25 million. So
Well, yeah,
they've
but he's
got
also
money.
40-something years old.
Well, even before he was 40 something years old, he was taking pay cuts in New England all his career. I'm saying if like Matt Ryan was actually committed to winning too, then maybe he should take some cuts so we can load him up with some weapons.
That's another fair point. That is another fair point.
The argument I always make about people saying Matt Ryan should take a pay cut would, if Microsoft come to you and said, "Hey, we need to get more people up in here. Jerod, do you mind taking a pay cut for us?" Would you take a pay cut?
If I was a millionaire, maybe. But since I get paid like maybe a sliver of what those guys get paid in their lifetime, then no.
Which I'm not trying to like. I agree.
But
The
like
Falcons
also
have-
to your point with, I mean, we're just us in our regular job. We're not playing a competitive sport. Like every few months in our sport, we're not. I mean, in our jobs, we're not playing for fans for a city or like that. Jared's not competing in the major company championships. We're just regular people. These are more
if Matt Ryan takes 5 to 10 mil less a season, all he has to do is go to like Tide or Dawn, whoever's his laundry detergent sponsor right now, and say, "Hey, let me make 5 more commercials." That's all he's got to do to make up the money.
I mean, that freak doesn't even really do that. He doesn't do commercials.
That's
like
the first one I've ever seen.
Those are like his first commercials. He does a lot of sponsors like on
he does like the
social
little
media.
sponsored stuff. Like I think he did like a Kid Nugent one this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking
I think I've seen him in a Gatorade sponsor.
Yeah, but like I don't know.
I don't think the
Right.
problem with the salary cap for the Falcons is Matt Ryan. The problem is you've got all this tied up money in people like Dante Fowler. They're paying Dante Fowler like $50 million.
Yeah, no, I agree with that point. I'm just
Like,
saying.
I don't think
like-
it's more of less Matt Ryan. I think it's you're spending money on all these other whack ass guys.
Yeah, that's why I said that other quarterbacks that are making more than him are still able to do stuff. But I'm saying with our whole situation at this point, we should just embrace a rebuild anyways.
And I mean, I just think that we need to fully embrace that this is a rebuild. They try to bill us as, oh, we can win with this squad. This is it. We still have a winning team. Everything. We just the only thing we did was lost the head coach. Like, no, this is fully a rebuild. And just be honest. I don't know why they see these guys in practice every day and think that we can win with the guys we have. But if anything, the last 2 games that we have played has showed you that, nah, bro, like this is a rebuilding squad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, hey, I think we can all agree at this point. Like, I'll have my dumb takes about Matt Ryan and whatever. Other people will have their dumb takes. Not saying you had some dumb takes, Drew. You had
He's calling you out.
you had mostly good points. But I'm saying that at this point, all of us passionate fans, we're just like, hey, let's just burn this thing down and rebuild from the ground up.
Yeah. I'm definitely a fan of burning it to the ground to watch it.
We've been disappointed one
No.
too many times at this point.
Yeah.
Just want to say before we move on,
Throw Felipe
you're out there-
Franks in there, bro. Let him
Yeah.
let him throw the ball a little bit, bro. Like, I don't know what else we can do at this point, bro.
I just want to say before we segue, for those of you out there listening, if you have a friend that's a fan of any Atlanta football team, call them, pray for them. My Yellow Jackets lost 55-0 today to Notre Dame, and we got to play Georgia next weekend. So
I mean, hell, son. This isn't a Georgia team, but Auburn has lost 3 in a row, so I'm down bad as well.
Well, one of us here is a Georgia fan, but I'm staying mostly quiet because I know
Thank
that
you.
we're gonna see Alabama in the playoffs or in the
What is
SEC.
that? What does that say? It's flipped.
This is help.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
it
there
now.
he goes. But I'm trying to keep mostly quiet because Nick Saban in Alabama has been Kirby Smart's I'm about to get all
Quit
tangled up.
tonight.
Yeah. But yeah, they've basically been our kryptonite forever. So I'm gonna stay humble until Kirby can finally get over that hump.
Yeah, but like I feel like if anything, Alabama has proven itself to not be as scary as it has been in the past. Like, I mean, sure, they're they're ranked number 2 right now. They're winning games.
I mean,
but
I agree.
like,
They almost let Mississippi
they
or Arkansas beat them.
I was saying they played Arkansas today. Yeah, so like, I mean, they have the talent. Of course, they have the talent and everything. But like, I don't know. It's just something different about this year, in my opinion.
Hey man, I'm just glad Georgia finally has that legendary type defense. So I think this could be our year. But like I said, we've been disappointed before. So
Yeah.
we got to get over Alabama in the SEC game. But yeah, so we basically went on a huge tangent for you all about Atlanta sports. And
I wouldn't call that a tangent. That's a segment. That's a whole segment right there.
It was a
Boom.
segment.
Oh,
it was a segment.
boom. I hope you enjoyed the segment. Bow, 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 bow.
It got wild and it went a little longer than expected. But
It's about passion.
Yes.
It's about drive. It's about
we're gonna segue into our next topic, which is probably going to bring up some controversy here, because we're going to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse and the recent trial verdict where he was found not guilty on all accounts. A little bit of a background for anybody in Kenosha, Wisconsin, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And basically, police officers, they injured and shot Jacob Blake. There was a lot of rioting and protesting in the streets. And Kyle Rittenhouse, who was 17 at the time, came through with his AR-15, saying he was a paramedic when in reality he wasn't. But he was mostly there, I guess, to try and do his part, as he says, to protect businesses. Push came to shove. He did not shoot and kill any black people. However, he did kill 2 other dudes who basically came at him, and he heavily injured a third, and he was found not guilty on all 5 counts that they ended up trying him with. There was 6, but they dropped one because of a technicality in the law.
I just think that this is absolutely insane. And I mean, speaking on a part of the black community, and as we kind of, and I mean, I don't know how anybody else will feel about this, but also I don't care about your feelings. But you put that little white teenager up on trial, and we all knew that he was gonna be acquitted, and proven not guilty. And so to me, it's not surprising, but also it is kind of surprising because, like, I mean, Lil Homie brought his gun across state lines, was underage. Was he not? Is he? Did he not bring it across state lines?
No, he purchased the gun in Wisconsin, and he was not underage. You can be 17 and purchase an AR in the state of Wisconsin, and he purchased the gun in the state of Wisconsin.
No, I thought the trial said it wasn't even his gun because he didn't live in Wisconsin. He did travel across.
I thought it was. I mean, I thought he was. It was the
basically like how Cedartown. Basically how Cedartown is like 20 minutes away from the Alabama line.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was basically like 20 minutes from like the Wisconsin border.
What state?
Something like that.
What state was he from? Give me a second.
Like the whole gun argument, apparently there's like a Wisconsin law where
I'm pretty sure
was charge because he was allowed to carry it. So there was something there. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, you can carry an assault rifle under the age of 18 at 17 in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Was he not from Illinois though?
I don't know. It's like I said, I don't know too much about it. All I know is I saw the trial and the prosecution. However you feel about the case, however you feel about it, the prosecution lost that case. If you watched any bits of the trial, the juries and the judges, they get into a room, they select what can be showed in courtrooms and all that good stuff before the trial starts. So everything's agreed upon. Whether or not people agree on it, that's one thing, but the prosecution was there to agree on it. So they screwed themselves.
Yeah, that's just a true thing. I mean, this is life isn't the movies. You know what I'm saying? They don't just like, this is a surprise and nobody in the defense knew what this was gonna happen, but surprise, surprise, this is happening. Like, no, like in actual courts, they have meetings with both sides, and everybody knows what's gonna happen in court. You know, basically the only people who really don't know is the jury because they're impartial, or supposed to be.
Yeah. Yes. But either way, there's many clips of this trial where you can go through and watch where the prosecutors they had no idea what they were doing. I don't even think they even wanted to try this man because
they didn't have a case.
I mean, it was pretty clear that they didn't really have a case. They were kind of grasping for straws, even when they had Kyle Rittenhouse on the stand. There's a lot of funny clips with the prosecutor asking him like these dumb questions. And then the killer evidence was the witness testimony of Rosenbaum himself, whose bicep got obliterated by Rittenhouse. Basically, the defense asked him, "Hey, did Rittenhouse shoot at you before you aimed your gun at him?" And he was like, "No, I aimed my firearm first, and then he shot me." And that was basically the nail in the coffin for self-defense.
I don't know. To me, I just feel like, why? What are you really out there for with your AR-15 and your excuse that you're defending businesses? You know what I'm saying? Like, you basically know what you're doing out there. You're one of these. You're one of these. You're one of these First Amendment bros who just take it upon themselves to try to take your guns out there and to be as intimidating as possible. 'Cause, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen this, and to be as intimidating as possible until you can use the excuse of that they were coming at you, and that is why you were shot. I mean, you shot people. You know what I'm saying?
You say excuse. It wasn't an excuse. They came at him. What are you talking about?
No, it's not. I'm saying, why are you really out there? None of these businesses that he said he was quote unquote protecting are in the interest of him. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
his father's from Kenosha. His father's from Kenosha.
so his father owned businesses, property he was protecting in Kenosha.
Well, he didn't own properties or
Oh,
business, but he was born and
okay, that's
raised
what
in
I'm saying.
Kenosha.
None of the stuff that he said he was doing is in his interest, other than just having a gun and being out there. You know what I'm saying? That's really the only reason why he's out there. He wants to have a gun, and people are out there protesting what they feel is a noble cause to be protesting about. And the only thing is, he wants to be on the other side with his gun.
But they're
And
not
then,
protesting; they're rioting. They're destroying homes and businesses. That's not protesting. That's rioting and looting. There's a difference. Come on, brother. Come on, there's a difference. Come on, there's a difference.
I mean, in the long run, a business has insurance. A business has these things in place to where if they incur any losses, they will be okay. A business is not a person. A business is going to be fine at the end of the day. Who really cares about a building getting burned to the ground? Really, like that's not, to me. That's not a big thing. If that happens, I mean, look at what.
Like, well, like if it
Never
if
mind.
it
I'm not gonna get
wasn't
into that.
if it wasn't like a Target and it was just like a mom and pop shop where they just lost everything they had built up for like the last 20 years, then yeah, I see a problem with that. I've only been quiet because I was trying to look up for sure uh what it was. Kyle did not carry a gun across the state lines because the gun belonged to a friend of his in Wisconsin and it was not legally his.
Okay.
His lawyers did say that during the trial.
Okay.
But not yeah, I mean we can argue about the reasons as to why he was there. I like personally, I'm not gonna go out when there's rioting or protesting anyways. Uh I mean, hey, I love my community, but not that much. I mean, I'm not about to go out there and risk myself out there. But I mean, I don't
It,
know. I think like we can argue his intent out there. I don't think he intended specifically to go out there and kill people. However, all I think he was really trying to do was scare people with that gun.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Mm-hmm.
basically trying to scare people. And then the video does show he was attacked before he started shooting. So the intent to be there with an assault rifle, that can be argued all day long because yeah, if you're not like an actual security guard and you're just like a 17-year-old kid, not a cop or nothing, yeah, that can be argued all day long. But his whole trial was just built on self-defense because he never shot anybody until they like hit him with skateboards and everything else and assaulted them.
And here's a question everybody wants to talk about. Why does Kyle have an AR-15? The two dudes he killed were convicted felons. Why were they in possession of firearms?
Well, that's true. I'm not going to argue about the convicted felons. Obviously, they shouldn't have had weapons either. I think everybody's just like, why did a 17-year-old kid come there with like and it doesn't have to be Kyle Rittenhouse, right? Like it could have been any like kid or person in general, and they would be asking why was somebody there with an assault rifle anyways, So I think it's not really about Kyle Rittenhouse. I think it's more or less about the intent of said person being there with an assault rifle. Now personally, I'm going to tell y'all, I've shot assault rifles. Obviously, I was in the military, and I'm pretty conservative, right? So I'd like to think, especially on this show, I do fall into the conservative argument more. But when it comes to gun laws, I kind of can get with non-military not being allowed to have those, or like non-policemen, like because people like military and policemen, they're trained to use those in certain situations. And I don't really know why a regular civilian would need it anyways. Like you can own any gun you want, shotgun, pistols, I don't care. But like I kind of can get behind civilians not owning assault rifles.
I mean, yeah.
I have in possession an AR-15 in my bedroom.
Well, I'm not.
I
I'm
mean, yeah,
not
we have a
taking
lot
it.
of the. We
I'm
have a
not
lot of
taking it from
this.
you. I'm just saying that if
Yeah,
it were ever introduced, I'm not going to argue against it, like because I could care less. I
yeah. I mean,
I'm just saying that personally, if they ever introduce that bill, I'm not going to fight for it because at the same time, I'm like, yeah. I mean, even now, I'm just a normal civilian. Why do I need one? Like, I don't. I'm not gonna go use it.
yeah. I mean, you're right, Jared. I mean, we like I said, I mean, we have like I was saying, we have a lot of the same friends. We a lot of friends who are gun enthusiasts, gun owners. I mean, I'm a gun owner myself. Um, but I mean, I just have a pistol. Like I I'm with you on the fact that like I barely use my pistol as is. I probably shot it once in the couple years I've had it, but like I don't. I've shot an assault rifle before, and it's
Yeah.
fun. It's a fun thing to do, you know, as a hobby. But like I would never actually see me actually using uh an assault rifle for anything other than, like I said, just, you know, hanging around, just shooting it, not as in using it to.
Yeah.
I mean, unless something extreme happened and I really needed it to defend myself, which I mean, personally, I don't see that happening. I mean, that's why I have my pistol. But that's it. Like I
Yeah.
just don't see myself using it other than that.
And I'm not saying, Drew, I want to take away your AR-15 because I don't. Like I said, I like guns. Right. I think people should be allowed to hunt, go to the range, relieve stress, all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like assault rifles. I mean, yes. Well, why was a 17-year-old out there with an assault rifle? But I get a lot of points. It's just the main point of that trial was it self defense or was it not self defense? And in his case, all evidence pointed towards it being self defense since he wasn't ever threatening anybody with that AR-15 and he only shot when provoked. So in his case, he used all like the proper safety and then he didn't do anything until he was provoked. Um, so really, when it just comes down to this specific person, and in a couple weeks, folks, we'll heck, we might bring Drew back on here because the Ahmaud Arbery case is going to be done here in probably a couple weeks. That's going to be a big headline, and
Wait, why? Like, hold on.
what?
Why do you, man, we might bring Drew back on after this case is over too. So we can have,
Why not?
I mean,
Why not?
of course, why not, right? But I feel like you're just kind of singled Drew out there for just.
No, I'm not singling him out. I'm just saying, like, he's the guest on this show, and we're talking about this case, and in a way, they're connected in the news. So I was saying it'd be cool if we were just all three talking about that one when it's done too.
Okay.
Well, I think maybe what Jared's trying to say is I kind of sort of have like a different point of view on the Rittenhouse thing as far as guns and things like that. But I can promise you this: those fellas that killed that Ahmad guy will rot
Oh
under
yeah,
the
yeah,
jail cell.
I mean, I feel like
They
that's something we can
will.
all agree on.
They
yeah.
will fry.
Now,
Or at least they
I can
should. Now,
sort of give you that maybe this Rittenhouse is a gray area,
sure.
but I don't know. At the same time, like I,
I'm not arguing about
man,
like,
you know, like
and those points earlier about like the AR-15s. It wasn't meant to say like, hey, I hate these guns, like take them away from people. I'm just saying, like, of all the weapons to take out there, like this kid picks an AR-15.
yeah,
But
like, and like I said, I mean, you say we can argue about intent. That's intent is like most of, you know, what people are, what the basis of murder is, right?
yeah,
and
first degree, second, and third.
And I think that if anybody actually watched the trial, that it was pretty proven that he acted in self-defense when he shot those people. So, I mean, it's touchy, but man, that case, if anybody watched the trial, he was going to get acquitted because the evidence just didn't really point in anybody else's favor. So we know it's touchy. We know it is. But that's what we do here on Unheard Of. We bring up the crazy, controversial stuff because we know that we all have different views. And so, you know what? We'd rather just air it out in the public because we can talk about it. And
if I may speak, speaking as how on this wonderful show right now, I'm the only one in possession of a assault rifle. I would like to kind of sort of give my opinion as to why I own that rifle. I don't own it. I own several different firearms. I have a pistol for personal protection. I'm out and about. Hey, get out of the car. Well, here, hold this for me, brother. I've got a shotgun for.
I said, hold this for me, brother. Like, who is he passing
hold
the blicky off to?
Hold this for me, brother.
Bro?
Hold that for me, brother.
What are you
anyway, getting back to it. I'm sorry. I've got a shotgun. That is for home invasions. Somebody kicks the door down, they're gonna get met with the 12 gauge. I have a regular rifle. Though I don't hunt, I own a regular rifle in case I ever do decide to go hunting. And I have an AR-15 for one specific reason, and that's because your constitutional right says that you are to defend your constitutional right against any threat, domestic or abroad. I own the AR-15 for one of two reasons. Number one, the United States becomes a tyrannical government and they come after civilians. I might die.
When is that happening?
I said if.
That's not happening anytime soon.
I said if.
Not happening.
Yeah, I said
soon.
if.
Okay.
Okay. And if there's ever a Red Dawn situation, you hear what's that noise outside? You go outside and you look, and there's Russians or North Koreans falling from the sky. That's it. I'm gonna get God, but I'm gonna get a couple of y'all before we go.
That's also not happening anytime soon.
I was about to say the two scenarios you brought up, you could still die at any second if the government wanted you to die. Like they're gonna bring tanks and you can get bombed up. So, I mean, I'm not arguing to take them away, Drew. I'm literally just saying, as somebody who has shot a AR-15, M16, M4 multiple times, like I'm not taking it away from people. I'm not saying I want to take them away. I'm just saying that I don't have it in my household, and if it were ever introduced, like that's the one problem where I'm not even gonna care, like if they did it, because I can still own shotguns and everything else. But I'm not taking them away.
You can't. They'll never.
To me, those two situations that you said are fantasy fiction that people have come up with just to defend their right to own these.
When I speak of tyrannical government, I don't mean what I mean is if there's ever a day where they come after your guns, would you say, "Oh, that could never happen"? If they ever say, "Yes, you have to turn that in," and all hell war breaks out,
so
then you've got something to fight for.
Well, give me a second here. People wanna say that they back the government, they back the blue, they back all this stuff until you feel like they're not. Then that's when you want to take a stand. You know what I'm saying? Like until you feel like the government is not protecting you of your Second Amendment right. Oh, they want to come after my assault rifles. That's when you want to say no. Then you're a tyrannical government. You know what I'm saying? That's when you want to.
But you are. What you are.
How?
If that's what you do, you are.
How?
Wait. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused by the scenarios
I
at this point.
I feel like I may have been able to explain that better, but I didn't. I'm saying that people say that they back the government until they feel like, oh, the government is infringing on my right to carry this. Even if the law changes, if the rule changes, then that's what it is. And if you back your government like you say you do, then why are you so upset?
I would say now, maybe more than ever, people don't back the government. Now more than ever. Now
True.
more than ever, people don't back the government.
I think trust is at an all-time low with the government.
Absolutely.
Like, I think there's different points, and I mean, obviously, it's a extremely touchy subject with everybody. Personally, if there was like a Red Dawn situation, I think I'm still dead with an AR. I think I'd rather have a machine gun in my arsenal, but those are pretty hard to come by, and we can't really get them. So,
if there's trust me, if there's a Red Dawn situation, I'm not an American anymore, bro. Like if they able to,
are you saying you're just gonna switch to
absolutely? Like, if there's a situation to where another entity is able to cross these American lines and take over, say our government or our borders or anything like that, I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm with y'all.
And also you're speaking of. You're speaking of Red Dawn saying that it couldn't happen, which I hate calling because that's a movie.
No, it's not real life. Yeah, that's real. Not gonna happen.
I'm talking about terrorists. I'm talking about people that come into this country illegally, right? Terrorists, and they fly planes into buildings and shit like that, and they suicide bombers. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about when I say foreign.
No,
no,
I'm not talking about airplanes flying through the sky with people jumping out. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, well, that's what you said.
You did say
you're talking. You're to me. You're talking about large scale. No,
not necessarily. That's not what I'm.
Not what it is.
Well, then let's put it this way.
I mean, if it's a 9/11 situation and that's an isolated thing that happens, then yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean that's going to happen.
Well,
domestic terrorism happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about. I'm sorry, Jerod. I just really want to get this thought out because it's in my head.
You're good.
I'm talking about if it's a large scale takeover of our of this American land, then we're screwed anyways. If it gets to that point, we're screwed. So
I think in a 9/11 scenario though, you've really only got like maybe your handgun at your disposal that day or whatever's in your truck, because technically if like a 9/11 happened, if you're there, and you're not like running home to go back to that situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When people say stuff like that, like I'm still not saying it would have to be a large scale takeover for it to even affect people in damn Cedartown, Georgia.
Yeah. And I'm still not saying people shouldn't have those weapons. All I'm saying is that I don't see myself using one as a civilian. So I don't I'm just saying I would never be taken aback if they introduce something like that. I've got no problems with you owning an AR-15, Drew, and I've got no problems with the other people I know that own one because I know a lot of people that own one. I'm just saying I don't have one, and I don't see like when I would ever use one as a civilian.
I'm saying it like I've shot assault rifles. They're fun. It's a fun thing to do, but if the right to have an assault rifle was taken, we can't own assault rifles anymore. I'm perfectly fine with that.
All right, Drew, final point, and then we're going to change topics.
Oh, I'm good. I've got everything off of my chest. I hope as a civilian, I never have to use my AR-15. Well, I hope in general, I don't have to use any of my guns. I hope I'm never put in a situation where I feel my life or, Brooke's life or, a loved one of mine's life is in jeopardy where I have to. I hope it doesn't, but I can promise you this, if the situation comes and it is, no matter where I am, I'll be prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's basically, I think we kind of all agree on that similar point. Like personal protection is like the main priority. Like when you have
Yeah.
a weapon,
I think
like
it's a
we
human
all,
right.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's a human
exactly.
right.
It is because we should all be allowed to protect ourselves and our loved ones. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Because I mean, if somebody steps into my house, y'all know where I'm going. Like
You
I'm
go.
not.
You gonna
I'm
get got.
Jared going for the
no.
blicky, baby.
Y'all know that. And to kind of transition us to like a lighter segment, basically, if Tiff hears, dang, Drew just fell out of the shot. He like fell out of his chair. um, like literally, if Tiff hears anything outside, like she sends me out there. Like when we got out of the military and I didn't have any like weapons to my name, basically there were times at our house in Georgia, she'd be like, "Hey, I think I hear something outside. Can you go check on it?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me just go get this broomstick, and walk out there." Like, and so literally, I'm always if there's anything in this house, I'm gonna be the first one to either die or protect myself and my family because I'm
Yeah.
always going straight into it. And over time, I went from a broomstick to like a big butcher's knife, and then I got the pistol, and so I was stage of events. But basically, if something were to happen at my house, I'm the first one to respond, and it's probably not going to be too good for whoever's intruding because I was a pretty good shot in the military. So
I'm kind of like you. Before I turned 21 and could legally possess a firearm, when me and Brooke moved into this place together, I had a 9-iron golf club sitting beside the bed. So if somebody come through the door, I just took a good whack at them.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, yes, I don't want to make it seem like I'm not on the side of personal protection,
for sure, yeah,
but like in the situation with Rittenhouse, like with pretty much kind of like any situation, like it comes a line of what is the limit that you can go to in what you call personal protection.
So as noted, things were getting pretty passionate. There's a lot of topics that we just have passionate views on. But I think the great thing about our show is we know that we're different, and so we allow for us not necessarily to go at each other, but for each of us to have our own independent views and be able to say those views because we're all different. And I like that this show, that what we do does that. I like that it's not just one way or the other. Like we each all have our opinions and we bring it to the table. We discuss it. Sometimes it gets passionate and sometimes it doesn't. But that was just one of the many instances when it can get passionate. And now, as noted, we are going to get into the topic of Rockstar and the definitive trilogy.
Yep.
So Drew knows more about this topic than us, so I'm gonna let him handle that one.
Well, I think as everybody knows, Rockstar. What did they did? It's a remaster. Am I
Yes.
correct? It is a remaster. It's
For
not a
This
well
man,
done.
this man
It's-
billed this man as knowing more about us, and he don't even know if it's a remaster
Well, I'm
or
asking
not.
the right.
Yes,
Like, what would be the correct term
yeah,
for
it's
it?
a
A
remaster.
remaster.
It's
Yeah.
a complete
It's not a.
remaster of old
It's
games.
not a well. It's not a well done remaster, but it is a remaster nonetheless. When I heard the news about it, I was really excited because I've never played Grand Theft Auto 3 before. It's been years since I played Vice City, and I've actually just recently played San Andreas on my phone. But I'm a big supporter of Rockstar, especially the Grand Theft Auto series. So anything related to Grand Theft Auto, I'm there for. But the gameplay, man, it's come out, and I've contemplated getting it. But the gameplay, I keep getting mixed reviews about it. Visually, it looks decent. I mean, it looks good, but there's certain elements to the games themselves that I don't Like, I don't know if you guys have
buggy.
seen some of the
It's buggy. Just call it how it is. It just looks. It looks good, but they have these terrible bugs.
It looks good from like afar, but like up close, it looks janky. I was actually talking to Arthur about it the other day. Many people that know me know that my favorite video game of all time. Hit him with it, Arthur.
I know where it's going to.
GTA 4, man.
It's GTA
this man
4,
for some
man.
reason loves the weird game that is GTA 4. GTA 4 to me is I wouldn't call it a misstep in Rockstar standards, but it's definitely a weird one.
Well,
like
GTA it's more realistic. It's a more realistic open world shooter.
Well,
it doesn't have the over the top missions. I mean,
yeah, but to me, it's more of like the nuance of what GTA 4 is. Like the driving. The driving I would classify in GTA 4 as dog shit. And it's just bad. Like the driving, just some of the shooting, some of the guns, the rocket launchers in that game. I don't like how they shoot in that little weird circle thing that they do. I don't like that. But that's just me. I haven't played a lot of GTA 4. I kind of skipped it. My sister really likes GTA 4 though, as well, with you, Drew. But to me, I didn't like it. Didn't like it. But Jerod, you seem like you had something to say.
Oh, it was going to be a terrible joke, but basically, all I was going to say was, in fairness, since we talked about it on this show, Drew does like Red Dawn, and in GTA 4, you get to be a Russian immigrant.
Yeah.
So
invading a new United States city, a metropolitan area. So
it's right up his alley.
Yeah,
as we already know.
Yeah,
but yeah, I've seen it. Some of the bugs are like the rain is really patchy. That's a bad one.
Very patchy. Yeah.
yeah.
I think sometimes it's kind of got like those cyberpunk glitches to where you might be driving and then all of a sudden you're just sitting in open air, and it's little things like that. So
yeah, I've seen one, and we kind of talked about this before we started recording, but there's this weird glitch in one of the I think it was GTA 3, to where they kind of, you could, like, when you're driving your car, you can like shake your car around, where they would wiggle their car around and the car would just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And in the video I saw, I think the car got to the size of 2 lanes of traffic size just from them shaking the steering wheel. So like it's just weird glitches. But I mean, of course, at the end of the day, GTA is GTA. You're gonna have a fun experience of whether you're just doing missions or you're just going around killing people, stealing cars, all this stuff. It's gonna be fun. It's more of these nuanced things, in my opinion. It's more of these nuanced things that people are really calling into question of Rockstar as to whether or not they really kind of rushed this release, or they could have taken more time to completely hammer out these issues.
Dude, and for the love of Drew, apparently Rockstar has almost seemingly confirmed that they are also remastering GTA 4. Hopefully set for 2023.
Huh?
Oh,
I was gonna say that. There was two points I wanted to make when bringing up Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
But you go ahead. You finish your.
Oh, well, I was just saying that, Rockstar is the studio that brings us like Red Dead, right? Like they've also delayed Red Dead by like a year, just for quality alone. Like they said, the game was finished. We need to work on the quality. They've done the same thing with GTA 5 in the past. And I think the problem with this one was they're not the ones that actually remastered this game. And because we all know that Rockstar, they're willing to piss off fans for a little bit if it means you're going to get a better quality game when it releases.
Mm-hmm. And as a fan of the Red Dead series, whatever they did within that year span obviously worked. The game looks and plays phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Now we can argue about getting some more good online DLCs for that game
sure.
because they're not going to
Good.
release them
I mean, I would rather not even online DLC, it's single player
single. Yeah,
DLC,
Single
too.
player.
which is one thing I feel like Rockstar has skimped out on these past recent years, whether it be with GTA 5, whether it be with Red Dead Redemption 2, like
Yeah.
they have leaned heavily on online play rather than that nuanced single player DLC, that we are familiar with whether it be the first Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto 4. We had two huge games come from that, Lost in the Damned and the Battle of the Gay Tony. Yeah, like those come from just single player DLCs.
We also had the Unheard of or the Undead Nightmare for the first Red Dead. That was a good one.
Yeah. That's what I meant when I said the first Red Dead Redemption game. The you just said it and it escaped my brain.
Undead Nightmare.
Yeah.
Undead Nightmare. Yes, that. Just a single player DLC, but instead that Rockstar has chosen to lean heavily on online play. And I mean, you can't say it's to their detriment because they've made a crap ton of money from it. I mean, they reported that they sold like 5 million copies in like the last quarter just of GTA 5 alone. Like, how are they still? How are there still so many people that hasn't played GTA 5? That they are selling that many damn copies of GTA 5 in a quarter. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Whoever's getting a PS5 and Xbox X is supposedly buying it.
Well, yeah, but those aren't out yet. Those copies of those remaster copies that are coming out for these next gen, current gen, whatever you want to call them, PS5.
Yeah, but those are backwards compatible.
Yeah, but there are also coming out with a PS5 and a Series X version.
Which I'm not buying that. If I ever get a Xbox or PS5, no, I'm not buying GTA 5 again.
Yeah, next year they're coming out with these. That would make at least 3 versions of this game that came out in 2013.
Well, we can all agree that GTA 5 at this point is just Rockstar's cash cow. I mean, they're milking it dry.
They're milking it, and we've talked about this on the show before. And I mean, I feel like we've given predictions on to when they're going to be done with GTA Online and all this stuff, and whenever they're going to be pushing GTA 6. I feel like we have given predictions on that, and our predictions have probably been wrong because they're still making a ton of money off of this stuff. So they can release just these online updates. They can release these remasters of their old games, and at the end of the day, Rockstar is going to be perfectly fine because it's mostly just the brand recognition alone. And I mean, it's not because I'm to me I'm fed up with it. I don't play GTA online or anything like that, but like on the same coin, like my sister, she plays GTA online almost every night. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she's always on there. She's always on GTA servers, and as long as they have people on their servers playing their game, then I feel like they don't feel a need to give an update on GTA 6 or give an update as to when they're going to be doing anything else in the future. As long as people are paying into this cash cow, what's the use of killing this cow? You know what I'm saying?
Well, Arthur just stole one of my bullet points. I was going to say, with the money that GTA 5 makes, and it seems as though they're remastering their old video game, I think this pretty much spells doom for the people that hope that you're going to get a GTA 6. I've said all along, I don't think Rockstar's ever going to come out with a GTA 6. They will literally be content with making millions of dollars off of GTA 5 online. Why would you not be?
I'll tell you all the good news though. Apparently, Rockstar has confirmed that they plan on building a franchise like GTA for Red Dead 2. Well, not Red Dead 2, but like Red Dead, the franchise.
That's
The series?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're planning on making more Red Dead games. Now, personally, man, if we had like another Red Dead Nightmare or something, or Undead,
Yeah.
but basically,
Yeah.
if they came out with a good DLC for Red Dead Redemption right now, I'd probably spend another $40 on it, honestly. If it was
Yeah.
like good quality. But
I mean, if we're talking about like maybe a DLC for Red Dead that shows kind of the Vanderlyn gang, like even before the events of what Red Dead Redemption 2 covers,
Yeah.
then yeah, I mean, of course it's gonna be fun. That's gonna be something that people want to see. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's definitely gonna be engaging. People wanna play something like that.
maybe like that year and a half that John Marston spent away from the gang, that came out as a DLC or something.
Yeah.
That'd probably be pretty good too, or something to do with Arthur Morgan, something.
Yeah, I would rather, because I feel like Red Dead Redemption is more John Marston's story.
Yeah.
And I mean, even though we have Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's Arthur Morgan as the main character most of the time. I mean, who do you play as? Spoiler alert, when Arthur Morgan dies, of course you're playing as John Marston. I feel like that this is John Marston. Red Dead Redemption is John Marston's story. So,
dude,
just anything else to do with John Marston is gonna be pretty fun.
guys, I pitched this to my colleagues the other day. I'm not sure if I said it on the show. I don't think I did. How fun would this be, right? They make a Red Dead 3, but what if the idea is a story similar to Django? All right, you have say a former or a slave, right, that runs away, and now he's building his own gang, and it builds up to this climax to where he goes back to the slave master and kills him and his entire family, right? I think a story like that would be pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, yeah, I would hope. Well, okay. Speaking as given the black experience here,
I go
me
for it.
personally, I'm tired of slave stuff.
Okay.
I'm
Well, it
like,
doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be slave
media
stuff.
to me is tired. It's old, and we need to progress away from it.
Dude, have you seen The Harder They Fall on Netflix?
No,
Dude,
if
it
it's
is.
about slaves, I don't want to see it.
No, it's
It's not
not.
about slaves.
It's literally just a black Western.
Oh wait, yeah, that's the Black Western. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one that just came out. Okay, no lie. I mean, I listened to the little soundtrack that came out with that. It's pretty hot. No lie.
That
lot
a
of good
story
songs
like
in
that
there.
also a story
storyline.
just
Yeah,
like that.
no, yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Like, yeah, okay. To me, and this is why I'm talking about why slaves in media is old. It's tired. It's because just like we know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that. Like that. I mean, going from Roots to Django and everything in between, like that's just it's to me it's old. You know what I'm saying? Like we know what slavery is. We know we don't need any more media about it.
yeah. Well, that's a fair point, and obviously, I have no good perspective on it. So,
And and that I mean, like a black western, that's cool in my opinion. That I mean, that's straight. I mean, I don't care about westerns, but like
you got to check that one out, dude.
leaning on just slavery is huh.
Okay, I mean
it's
that's fair. I just thought
it's throw up emoji.
like a western with like a main character that was black would be really cool too.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
harder they fall also kind of has like the story that I'd love to see in a game. Like this dude is seeking revenge, and then he builds his own gang to counter the gang that basically ruined his life.
yeah.
Right. And so that
But then there's a big old plot twist at the end of the movie.
there is a
I haven't
big
seen it.
plot
I
twist.
haven't seen it.
You got to check it out, Arthur. It's actually a really good film.
Isn't Idris Elba like the main character?
He's
He's
like
the
the
main villain.
antagonist.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's the main antagonist. Okay, who's the main? Who's
Jonathan
the
Majors.
Majors? Ooh,
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, Kang. If anybody
I
has
was
seen Loki recently.
I was actually rewatching uh now it has slipped my brain. The HBO show that he was in,
Oh,
Lovecraft Country. I was rewatching that today. So
yeah, it's a good one, man. You got to check it out, and it's like a 2 hour and 40 minute movie, I think, but it's
Jesus
really good.
Christ,
Um,
that's
Yeah,
long
it's a
as
long
hell.
movie.
it's got a loaded cast though. Like
Yeah,
the
Yes, it
cast is
does.
loaded.
I know they got
Yeah.
a pretty good cast. Like I said, I mean the soundtrack was good. So
And I wasn't trying to like pander. I just thought like Django
no,
as like a video game would be really cool, you know?
I
Maybe
would
not even necessarily a storyline based around slavery, but a storyline based around like that time period. Like
Yeah.
with Red Dead being the 1890s, I thought it was cool that time period. I think you could go back even further 1860s, 1870s, 1880s. You could get, how about this for a Red Dead 3? Hosea and Dutch in their teenage years when they met, when they first started forming the gang.
yeah.
The game
I mean,
through their
yeah,
point of
that
view.
would be cool. That really would be cool.
I think it'd be cool, but
Or
I'm also on the same thing as Arthur. Like I'm tired of like the Marston storyline, and basically Dutch Vanderlyn and that gang kind of falls in it. So like a new refreshing story would be really nice.
let's say, or maybe we go further into the future with
Jack.
maybe Jack and
Yeah.
what happens with him.
But I
And-
mean,
know what?
good God Almighty! Like if you did a story with Jack, like Red Dead Redemption was cool. The only thing that I didn't like about it was the timeline. Now there probably was still cowboys and outlaws in the 1910s, but you're a year or two away from World War I, and they had that game. Like most houses didn't have electricity, like in that game, but like in reality, you're years away from skyscrapers in New York City. And the game, you know what I'm saying, played
Yeah.
like old.
Yeah.
The game played old, but in real life, in that
Are you
time
talking?
period,
You talking about like Red Dead Redemption 2?
No,
No, the
one.
first one,
It
the Red
the
Dead
first one
Redemption.
takes place in like 1911, and then when Jack Marston comes into play, it's like
It's like the
1914.
20. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
almost 20s and
1914.
shit. Yeah. I mean, but that's like they
So
kind
if you did a
of
storyline with Jack,
make it.
what the hell are you going to tie that around with Al Capone? Shit.
They kind of make it. They kind of make it known in the game. Though I feel like that like this is the
Like an
dying
old-
breed.
Which, yeah, that's the
of
whole point
what's
of the
going
first
on.
game is, we're the last of our kind.
Yeah, like this is like, and then they make it even more like, even though that the Red Dead Redemption 2 is obviously a prequel, that like this is where we're leaning. Like this is like this isn't just cowboys time anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like the American government is more cemented into bringing these outlaws to justice, and we're moving towards not having this happen anymore. So I mean, yeah,
dude. I mean, hey man, while we're at it, shoot. You know what? Let's just make a Red Dead based off Back to the Future 3. Let's do it. That's a game I'd buy.
So like
with the quality that Rockstar makes. Then no, I mean there's some pretty good westerns. I'm looking forward to that prequel to Yellowstone also.
It's like
1883.
It's like an Assassin's Creed game,
Yeah.
except it's Red Dead.
So basically our arguments for Rockstar is that they basically allowed a crappy game or a crappy version with a bunch of bugs to get released to market.
If it was any other studio, they fumbled the bag, but because it's Rockstar, they did not fumble. They could release absolute booty meat shit, and people will buy it, and that's what's happening right now.
Yep. And so basically, we know Rockstar builds quality games, and as we're leaning into the last few minutes here of our podcast, we don't want to take any more of your precious time. We know we took a long break. Last week's episode was about an hour, and now this one's probably going to be about an hour 30
Longer.
to 2. Yeah. So we're just going to go ahead, move into our closing thoughts. I'll get started. And we'll also do our handles if you want to make up for time. And so closing thoughts, I kind of said it right before this segment, but basically nothing gets done if you can't talk about it, right? So no progress is made if nobody's talking about it. And I think that we bring this really kind of fun idea where we just kind of talk about whatever we want, and we may seem like we're going at each other's throats, but at the end of the day, all of us are still friends. We just have opposing views on a few things, and that's how stuff gets done in the country, and that's how progress is made anyway. So, if you're one of those people that thinks it's your way or the highway, just be open. Listen to a bunch of people's point of view. It could help you see things differently as you move forward in your life. And as for me, my Twitter handle is at Jerod Evans. You haven't seen much of me lately. And by the way, TSA did come through with the updates. I don't think I've said it on the show. I said they made 2 claims, right? And calls were hopeful and optimistic, but they denied both of my claims. And now, in order to fight it, I basically have to sue the federal government. So I'm just gonna
Jesus Christ.
I'm just gonna accept the money
man.
loss. Yeah.
Take this to the Supreme Court, man. You got
Bro,
it.
take it all the way up, bro. They broke your stuff, bro. It's
No, I'll take the.
It's a miscarriage
It's their
of
fault.
justice.
It's their fault. If they if they keep you, people need to be studying in law class Jerod Evans versus the TSA in the future, because that you're gonna set a precedent of these MFers breaking stuff and being liable for it. Jerod, that's you.
It might be a bigger deal for somebody else, but the laptop was kind of old and I can handle the $500 loss. I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars to go to court for something that was maybe $500 worth of value. So
yeah,
TSA,
but think about it like this: you can sue for pain and suffering. You can sue for pain and suffering and get a little bit more money.
I mean, look, let's just put it this way: TSA, screw you guys. I hate you. I'm going to be all up on you now for the rest of my life just because of this one incident.
In the future, bro, just check your.
I got it.
Don't check your important stuff, bro.
Since this
incident, with you onto the plane.
Since this incident, I have already gotten on a plane a couple more times, and I've taken it with me personally
Yes.
to ensure it didn't break. But those are my TSA updates. It wasn't a big deal to me. I mean, I'm still pissed off about it, but it is what it is. And yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter there, and any one of you guys can take the floor, and then we'll close up shop.
Drewby.
I got a couple of points I want to hit. Like I said earlier, if you know someone that supports either the Falcons or Georgia Tech, give them a call right now, because they're not doing. This is a tough. This has been a tough previous week, and it's going to be an even tougher upcoming week. I got two things I'm looking forward to in the near future. Obviously, Thanksgiving. Going to the mountains next weekend. Me and the family. We're going to Tennessee, so looking forward to that. Also, the 1st of December on a Wednesday, me, Brooke, Brandon, and Haley are going to Atlanta to watch All Elite Wrestling.
Yes,
So
sir.
we are very much so looking forward to that.
Yes, sir.
I want to give a shout out to Rockstar. Anything worth doing is worth doing well. If you're going to remaster GTA 4 as a lifelong fan of that particular video game, please do it right. Please do it right. I'm begging you. You can follow me on Twitter at DrewNasty96. Follow the Unheard Of fan page at the Unheard Of fan page on Facebook. And it was always a pleasure being here with you fellas. I enjoyed it.
All right. And I mean, I'm the last man. So, you know, to me, just my thoughts, just treat people right. You know what I'm saying? Just try to have a bit of empathy and compassion in this world. And given recent and even not recent, the past, people do not have compassion for other people. And so if I could ever leave my mark on this world, is just to try to have as much compassion for the next man as I can. So that's just all I want to leave people with is, just think of other people. And so, of course, you can find me on Twitter at young without the O _ ABG. You can find us as a unit, as a team on Twitter at unheard _ of pod. That's going to be the same thing on Instagram and Facebook. We have a Facebook. We are Unheard Of. Just search us up. YouTube, we got links. We got links to anywhere where we are, where you listen to podcasts, where we are. We got links. We got places to find us at. You know what I'm saying? We're in the universe of the internet. So if you really want to find us, if you really are a fan, I feel like you already know where to find us. But if anybody doesn't know where to find us, just ask somebody. We're around. We're places. And as always, if you made it to this far in the episode, I want to say thank you. And yeah, take it away, Jerod.
That's right. Thank you for everybody that did listen this past week. We know we had about a month off. So to see the family coming back in is great to know that you're still out there. We see you. And yes, as Drew lamented, hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. Spend time with your families, enjoy it all, because you never know what tomorrow holds. So as always, we love you, we hear you, and we hope you hear us here at Unheard Of. And once again, I'm Jerod.
And I'm Arthur. And this was
Unheard Of.